other things were adjusting, other things were happening, but there's a little shake up in the system because there's a lot of repairs that had to be done. Okay. Because I said, mine shaman for being CSE. I said, table beer, 9 beer, and you crown one same, and to me, it will come down. Okay. And at the end of the day, before the jumper will come up and then everything will be settled, something is going to happen so that in 2032, there will be new things. Because as you always ask me, on mine yes,
I keep asking, but
yeah, on mine yes, that's what is going to happen.
Okay, you are talking about the economy,
okay, and the system of governance.
Okay,
it will dive, by diving here, it will rise up again.
Okay,
it will dive in a way say,
a dive may take how long?
A dive it will take almost 8 months.
Ish.
That's not even an easy thing at all. And to dive very deep. Now a dive here, it will be very different. But in December, the reason why there's a lot of shuffling is because you said what
can send the bra for my Ghana. Na the awadi can any the Yankupon Gusua or Yichra efa or my ebeyi.
Ebeyi Ebeyi pa, yes.
O mine be ye
pa
and tina ujidi se o mine and that's room kakakra na
exactly o mine be ye to understand say future bia me hu no no hye.
Okay,
now future bia me hu no, it is something that has to do from 2024 edi ko 10 years
2024 na kuja ma me paper 2024 okay
edi ko 10 years time ya me hu adibi no.
Okay.
Now, it has to do with setting foundations to understand. Say the youth will rise up in a way. Say, "Open say undi president crowd was cruel so usru." You'll be afraid to be a president.
Sir?
You will shake. You see,
be aggressive
to understand. Say, you see, be the president crowd be June twice before you accept it. Yeah, the be chow crowd be tambo. Chow ona said you could draw crowd, you will panic.
I see.
And easy say will be picky up to go. So pressure never be that presidential grounds no so.
Okay.
And the decisions will begin to change. And so many things will change in the country. Yes.
Now Alentina youth no that they oman Kenya omo yebrese spiritual in the spiritual realm no and the antina a delay 2024 echo. And
of
and some can you know munsem we no any hunemu until the intellectual said compare be analyze emfa so for you can soon
absolutely anti with regards to that no nyama bebre koso sunsumu it is hindering the progress of the country. Mostly during election there's a lot of sacrifices ni nyama ekoso and the political arena no because of certain spiritual workings ekoso ninti even if you become a president there's a lot of battles and things you have to deal with before you can run the country. And mainly most people who run the country, they don't run it according to the needs of the people, but to their own interest. And before the people vote, before Baba vote. So at the end of the day, the electoral grounds becomes like a trade, commercialized foundation. And at the end of the day, what has to happen does not come into full conclusion. And that's the foundation.
I see. Ebusian for Accra 100.5 FM. Yane Sofupenia owo prophetic embassy. And Igusa ye twetwen komo no. We dey ye twetwen komo for my Ghana ho. Na ya hwe. Papa say every 2024 koya kopem how many years time?
That's 10 years.
10 years. Yes. From Sabria kopem 2034. Youth na any bebre. Na sa 10 years ya king one hwe sunsun mahu amampania ebe tina konya so omo no ombetimi handle sa youth.
Of course no ma hwe ehuniama bebre wo sunsun.
Okay yenko
and won say the way anyankopon hihye no eno na eba bebe mu. I saw 3 branches in the future.
Okay.
3 branches. One goes straight, one goes right, one goes left.
Okay.
But the only branch that keeps growing in time is the branch that John Dramani Mahama, Ebeye president, during his tenure, within 2 years something happened, a little shake up. They don't approve it tramping you for say, Maza, what's your now you want to slow certain things down now, pressure no will come to you.
So for Jinaho, obey president, the away anime and said the
No, 2024. 2024. By this thing 9 p.m. and Ajuna or no Obia I won't say what's the president in this one.
Abana Babeto no 7 December no.
Absolutely. Sabe Pepe.
Wow. Accra FM.
Accra FM.
Nyetelia.
Tele Accra FM.
Nyetelia.
Tele Accra FM. Yeah, mommy.
Abana by 9 no na yankin kan wie no. Ediana ebema sa batwo na ye so sharp sa.
So sharp, yes. Because abana ya babetu no enye aba ya gusu to all the time. Spiritually no in time I saw clearly say 9 p.m. no now in all arrangement and gathering no everybody knows who is the winner of the election. By 4 a.m. obese utongo kakra sorry say election e ko ni say no na clear. And most of the times a man for dream in their mind that this election bloodshed election, fighting issues, a man for come people are talking about a lot of things, but mainly no election way and election just during the day of the election a man for best there's normal shenanigans up and downs here, but the aftermath of the election, the counting and everything, Mr. Beya quiet.
I will say Omampeni that John Dramani Mahamana Obewene.
Absolutely.
Ya wa software omo man Ghana mo mo so mo ne esi hini tu hini. Wa consult omo ebisa question ensemi say de wuhu no eye no kre eye clear ana say niama besisa. Because ya wa contact you omo.
Dabi.
San software ne san crofo no omo ni influence bia was abatu no.
Of course, Obia Beye, I mean what they want to handle. But on say in the realm of the spirit, no, Obia ni ejuma.
Okay.
I always explain these things. Say,
okay.
I may be 12 years. As how the Bible made it profoundly clear in the book of Job. There's a spirit in man. Elihu was speaking.
Yeah.
He said clearly, I said days should speak, a multitude of years should teach wisdom. But there is a spirit in man. The inspiration of the Almighty teacheth him understanding. And Elihu nani omokasa before Job, and he was explaining to them, say there is a spirit in mind. It is the spirit that makes the difference. And we are saying, Obia on a hierarchy, Obi a doctor, Obi a nurse, or be a specialist, any angles. I may be a specialist in 2 years practicing or 3 years practicing, and I may be very, very young. But my field, no, if my field is pathology, and I say oncology or any other thing, or dermatology, it is my field and I'm a specialist in it. We a medical doctor for 2,000 years, my expertise, because I have practiced that specific branch. That specific branch of medicine, and in that regard, no me practice no will be sharper. And will be details in pathology. I'm a regular doctor. They want the specialist, and the specialist don't know how study according to that angle. And to be a candidate, or be a share income, but accordingly, no, you failed to see what is written. What's the Bible? Ezekiel, Enoch, Daniel ni niama Elijah mo ni niama nyina. Elijah bae no obehye nkoma ni bi mo. Ezekiel bae no obehu ade obi ehu ye. Enoch bae no obehu ade obi ehu ye. John the Revelator bae obehu ade obi ehu ye. Paul nso bae obechrekre Bible no na nso we hu dia John the Revelator no hu ye. So different fields of operation, diverse kinds of operation, but by the same spirit. And based on the prophetic dimension, which by the grace of God we've mastered the fourth dimension, I can tell you clearly that in time, 9 p.m., 4 a.m., it is only John Dramani Mohammed's name you'll be seeing. Onyame Busheni, I don't know him from anywhere, but the future is clear.
And the date here, 28th August 2024. So for a year, Odifo a Sowah. Ocean come where I am come say a prediction na say Oshe or my no I want to na and now they can cancel and say so.
Okay, so time I share income, you know, I'm putting it already down together. Income share no came probably somewhere 2018, 2019.
Okay.
So in 2020, MPP will win the election. Some way MPP will take the election, but in 2024, NDC will take the election. Before 2016, I prophesied who will be the president as well.
Okay.
In 2016, 2020, and then 2024, which is coming. Obi chere kwai na okọ baby no se udru junction where obon so obi ton kube branch right now branch na ochikotra so obon school bi wo wenim now branch na unsa school no pepepe no se branch left na me dan ni siwa se branch left obi hu dan no because from the onset all the informations check out.
Okay,
absolutely.
Because media them na kuja ya na eja onenamti o say na kuja de in baby ono de o kan nsem ko ana o say 2020 no oba wonchen na eja no betwetwen komo say on the office say the party na eja e ba be we na o kire ne say krache emfa ana o de areho eso di free ho meanwhile no na kujo ni na ya adwuma che adenti na wentumi andane ade no anko baabi ono epesofo yetumi dane ni saa because ye kan ebetumi aba so obi say o na nka ekọ ni say na makodane sofo ye pe mu nchirechire mu ye adaroma.
So in the prophetic arena no there are two types of prophecy. In the two-dimensional types of prophecy, no, there is the 1 to 4 tale and there's the 1 to 4th tale.
Okay.
In other grounds, no, there is a prophet like Elijah that says that it will not rain for 3.5 years and it will not rain.
Okay.
So he has manipulated the time space.
Okay.
Ni faith ni strength na no or your altar or your authority or your entity, and he can speak in that regard and stop everything in the atmosphere.
Okay.
Then there is people like Daniel, Ezekiel, John the Revelator. For eons,
okay,
years, days, centuries.
Okay.
Say this is what is going to happen.
Okay.
That one, even if you use your faith to manipulate it, is impossible.
Okay.
There are some things your faith can manipulate. There are some things it is destiny. And then we have destiny.
Okay.
Exactly. There will be one prophecy that in to say no matter what, we be a president like Joseph in the Bible. The decree was on top of him.
Okay.
And his brothers, whom were stars, took him into slavery. They put him in a pit and ended up in Potiphar's house.
Okay.
The prophecy was there. Every prophecy comes with a gift. And in the gift, you say, obetimi, I interpreted dream. And some of them Zafnat Pania.
Yeah.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, the gift need to so esa sharing in common say this is where he will stand. He still ended up there. Wow. So a to the bia nyankopon hihya ade bia ase ye bo chess no or the BBC no the way sia no the way sia no a share timeline because ya yeti krono mu ye bre for so many years 60 something years now. Okay. And at the end of the day nyankopon pese on fa new turnout in bra and the new turnout no I am not a sympathizer of a party but mainly no what is going to happen within the timeline is what I'll put across. And at the end of the day, when I told you people earlier, said there is a root, a small root growing.
Aye.
That root in Suba, will anybody say, say, Nakuja or what convince me, say, we, Minko and conscious Komama and this and another day. So when the root 2 comes, no, Bone say, my prophecy will go according to that angle. And when that timeline now, Matronoba, it will shock everybody. All the 2 parties in the country, they will feel flat. There will be a new party out of the country.
I see. From 2025, Kono, Wakano, Waka say, Omampeni da John Dramani Mahama Bedi Akunyano. 2 years later, say, and from Makakrebi Bebo, what's the nature of San Framano?
In Framane spiritually, what I saw, they say, a little shake up.
Okay.
Because after the election the country will go downside. Dollar rates 19 Ghana Cedis. So the first time I told you people about dollar rate, that dollar rate was around somewhere 4 Cedis, 6 Cedis, yes. And I say better 11 Ghana Cedis. They should mark it the same year. Nobody, they shouldn't even look at 10 years. The same year. Nobody can stop it.
Okay.
Me say once the election was done, it shot up to 19. Then they started eating it down gradually. The first year, now things were adjusting, other things were happening, but there's a little shake up in the system because there's a lot of repairs that had to be done.
Okay.
Because I said, mine shaman for being CSE. I said, table beer, 9 beer, new one, crown one same, and to me, it will come down.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, before the jumper will come up, and then everything will be settled. After that, the second year, there will be a lot of campaigning progress. I say, push a month for Munkoji Krono within 1 year of President Mohammed's presidency. Almost I say the pressure and the pressure will bring a revolution. People will want to take over that list because there is more within now to 2025. There is going to be about 2 more coup d'etat and it will enforce people to try to do
Africa.
African countries, yes. So it will bring more or less more demonstrations from the youth. And that pressure will be very enormous. And after that pressure, everything will calm down. After the pressure, there is something that will come out. I don't know your prophecy key be a media tour.
Say had the capital
unlock it.
Capital no they unlock it because say no BATA.
There are some things that unless God gives us utterance, we cannot unlock it.
Okay.
Saki in the media tour. Once that one happens, the country will begin to rise in such a way. Say, what's in Ghana for so many years? You have never imagined something like that before. After the 4 years of the president's grounds, their party, the NDC party, the contract that reverted in the realm of the spirit is 16 years of ruling. Break the 8. Only NDC party will break the 8.
Hey, really?
Yes.
I feel way obedient to me breaking 8.
No.
Breaking the 8 will be around 2030 and 2032 because you're 2024. Next 4 years near 2028 and after 2032.
Absolutely. I'm open number breaking 8 now. And in the breaking of the 8, that is when the young tree will bring all of them down. Because after the 4 years, another 4 years, during that election, called the next 8 breaking, and the breaking 8 now, there will be some inefficiencies be our atmosphere no more. And that inefficiency will give the strength to the young party.
Okay.
One singular young party at the NDC, MPP phone in our FM say bye.
Hey, sir. Wow. Hey, sir. Friends, from 2025, Kwaku 2032 now. O can say NDC be break 8. Na MPP there na ekosu.
Exactly. As I was saying, as I prophesied that earlier. This thing, party, and I said there will be a division in one party, and after the division, close to the election, October, November, move back the butterfly. So be join you.
Which
is Alan.
Okay.
Yes. So be join you.
Okay.
Now the fishy thing is that in prophetic timeline, the asset would the plots be once Adiba could come back, the outcome will be flawless.
Okay.
Which means timer Alan omube piano this trinity bano ebedru baby no he can't join them entirely, but then at one point he will try to rally support behind them, and but still the election will not go according to plan. So after the 4 years of Mama, that's why you see true division. Vice president for them. And then that's Dr. Muhammad Alaji Baumia. Yes. And then the one that will be our friend in Napu. Obviously, like Ondo had the first person and he will give up the election in 2024.
Oh, sir.
Yes.
Hey. Sofo. Na po Mokwame Nkrumah no. Ono na bembe bu ewo 2024 election.
Yes.
After seeing two abanawie na ye bobo results neba no. Na po give up.
Yes, he'll give up on the election. I don't know, but I can say, I mean, it's obvious, NT. We should release it. It's future timeline.
I don't know.
I
don't know. Obemba Montina Beka na one nkrofo na ebe bo ho nkomo wo ni fia na say ne ho baby.
Oh, Obemba Montina Beka on the cry to come out clearly because the issue of the election is by 9 p.m. the way the voting system is going. Now counting system ne best I say during the night to like 4 a.m. Now if you keep sitting down, say results in Imba because they counted the entire Ashanti regional votes in Yama. I'm talking about 16 regions. Yeah, counted 11 regions. Not even one region. So at the end of the day, during the counting of the Ashanti region, which is not going to be most of the years, what you say? County Ashanti region, NDC 1, MPP 3,800. That's not going to be the case. The situation is going to be straightforward. Ebeye banter head to head. And yet long
Ashanti region. NDC party no regions are hina between me winning 11
straightforward.
11. Now MPP are winning 5.
Yes. Wow. 5 of even that one cry a battle.
Hey, now so for and someone can do because Ghana battle no. The last time cry who say will be winning 2020 and I think around 9th December muho 8th 9th muho and sana but we we no that day na I say I clear.
Yes. Oh, check me Facebook. I say 2020 election. I prophesied that there is going to be a victory. Victory on the 9th of December. Secondly, the day will be on a Wednesday, and the time will be 5 p.m.
Okay. And
I bet declare election. So the day, the hour, the time. I prophesied it on that Facebook this year.
Okay.
During the day of election, we. 2020 election, I prophesied that ahead of time. And the time no cry was there. And then precise. And then but time now it's not a new thing.
I see.
Yes.
So for your sunflower over samba.
No problem.
Nyamia doma within next week na Emma cause questions no was ebisa bebre na yeah because the entia on say if you no sabiu yemfa obia keke emma ha niama bi wo ha am follow na me dia company niama e koso o manum na mehu say papa we obi a at least e was say o man ni hwe ni yie o man ni hwe ni yie na ye ona no ha enu ntina to me safro say so for bra because in some bebre wo why was it me bisa
absolutely
enya batwe nko but o man Ghana na nkasa no problem na yenhwe hawa yebetumi ayena some of these problems no yebetumi solve. Okay, you are talking about the economy
okay. And the system of governance.
Okay,
it will dive by diving it will rise up again.
Okay,
it will dive in a way say obi ayembe no
a dive be take how long?
A dive it will take almost 8 months.
Ish.
That's not even an easy thing at all. And to bet dive very deep. Now a dive it will be very different. But in December, the reason why there's a lot of shuffling is because you said one thing, you were asking one question. It's because there were certain funerals. Due to that, they had to put some people somewhere and remove some people from somewhere because some places were vacant.
Asemaba.
So that one is a different story on its own. But then we come back to the economy.
Funeral no me. So how many funerals?
2 of them.
Sitting ministers and I say
CEO minister. But in that timeline, those things can be adjusted in time. That one we can bend the time for its sake. Yes. But then the shuffle will come because of one of them. I can't get a hold of it in the dimensions. But there's one important one we can bend and create something else by the grace of God. But mainly there will be shuffling as a result of that. Once that shuffle will kick in, yes. And then as we go forward with regards to the economy, economy no goes downside. But one thing I always say is be patient. Be patient.
Okay.
Because once the economy goes downside, we need to be patient. Once you have the patience, within the 2 years interval, there will be an elevation. Once the elevation starts, me who say you are starting developments. And I'm not talking about Greater Accra development, I'm talking about nationwide development.
Okay.
Infrastructure, hospitals, different kinds of setup. 3rd year in office. All those things will begin to happen. And it will begin to happen very fast. And it looks so impossible. They'll begin to build things that are so mega beyond your wildest imagination. And it was so amazing. I'm looking at it in time and it is happening. And it was so unique. But one important thing in time that I saw 2 branches in that specific angle. It's 2 branches. The president will sit down in the office. He will have 2 opportunities in hand. He will choose the other one, the opposing figure. Once he chooses the opposing figure, the trend of the 2-year timeline for us to exceed into success will break. Once that timeline is broken, in 2028, it will be a different story altogether. That does not mean M people win the election. That's a different story.
If you had your bar, Mount Kasasa now, President, there will be 2 major decisions I also take.
Yes.
One, the
first major decision is about the economy. 2 things they will place before him.
Okay.
He has to choose within these 2 things. He has to choose whether to present the money into the agric industry, into the farming protocols, and secure that one. Or he has to present the money into gold. The president will present the money for gold in the first branch of time I am seeing. And once the money hits into that and his investment in the foundation, it will look beautiful in the beginning. The next thing you will see in news is $246 billion.
Ashe.
Into oblivion.
And what will happen after that?
243. 243. I want to be specific on the number. $243
billion.
Remember that number. 243. Yes, not 6. 243. Specific.
When so the figure account says no country about me, I say 37. Me share chat the name, Mr. $243 billion.
Yes.
A million, not billion.
Oh, a billion.
And how are we going to welcome this news as a country in timeline?
Exactly. That is what I was saying. It will create a lot of problems for the next step of election 2024. It will be very different. 2028, sorry. It will create a different story altogether for us. The whole angle and the whole thing, because the thing cannot be explained because it was through one man. They will temper. The person is sitting down trying to make the government better. Somebody is playing a different game altogether behind. And that's the first problem. Now, what I will say, to save us from this branch of time, we have to put the money on the agric.
Okay.
On the agriculture, yes.
I
don't know the agriculture minister. So if somebody says that to me, or say, maybe on the agric minister or pescamana, I don't know him. He doesn't know me. I'm telling him he doesn't know me. I don't know him. We don't know each other.
Honorable Eric Opoku.
Because of this prophecy, Christ shouldn't, if he wants to know me, shouldn't try to know me.
Okay.
Yeah, you should stay away from me. Absolutely.
I see. Oh, can I say close to, if I say 2027, I call 2028, no?
Yes.
I on my penny 3rd year, no? construction near the development because so send a normal with government or seeking for re-election at the end of way development way are unique and so different from other ones now are witnessing.
Because it will be very different. It will be very, very, very different. Roads, bridges, very different. International standard. Not normal, ordinary things. They are very different. Once you see it coming, you know this one is not the ordinary NDC, MPP kind of development. This is different story. Very unique, very special, very different. And it affected the whole country from the top to the down. And then in these 4 years, the Dumso problem, they will change it. And they will solve a situation. I saw that they were fixing new meters because there's something that will go on in the ECG, electronic company. One will fall, one will rise. Then it will divide into two. Electricity company right, electricity company left. Two electricity companies.
Oh, how?
Running the country.
In say nobody or man can say on be privatize it. No, and I
don't watch. I don't follow those news. Once I'm sitting there, anything I don't know.
ECG mienu.
Yes.
Nakuja. Inti ome running is saying ani na ye state owned and I say Obina air running for flow. So for
it will be two sector running, like two angle of operation. I say a blend of two different companies.
Okay.
Dealing with electricity.
Okay.
And then you will be given the option of which one to take. And it will be two angles of electricity companies that will be running the country. That one will just solve at that is why I told you that I saw news being posted. And I give you the date.
Yeah, okay, August.
Yes.
I think 24th of August or so.
And I told you, say, it will be stated clearly that for about 1 year and more, there was never light out. Doomsaw was never a possibility. Not Doomsaw. If it was a virus, it has been cured entirely. The reason why I'm telling you this is because the future is very clear. Something is going to happen so that in 2032 there will be new things. Because as you always ask me, on mine
yes, I keep asking, but
yeah, on mine yes, that's what is going to happen. It's going to change, and there are branches in time that has to be fully adjusted, and that is what will happen. Now, once the gold is taken, there is not much we can do to bend time. It is established.
Enti onfesi kano ensha Greek mu na onjai gold in sem no.
No, yes, you should leave the gold aside and focus there because there will be big disappearance of money. And once it disappears, they have to account for it. Once they will account for it, they will fracture the whole timeline. If they fracture the whole timeline, the anomaly will happen. If an anomaly happens is in time, this is what happens if an anomaly happens. You will have someone else being president who is not supposed to be president. And then the time is fractured.
Why never be president or no president? So
it's not MPP government still. That's not
within NDC.
Yes.